No getting around. It's going to happen. He even described how it's going to happen, where it's going to happen. Okay? The kickoff point, the conflagration point is Germany. Okay? With all the stuff going in the Middle East, that's where it's going to wind up. But the kickoff, the flash point, as he called it, his exact words were, the flash point is Germany. And when it kicks off, that's where it's going to hit. Now, you see Reagan right now in the Gulf of, over the Gulf of Sidra, trying to provoke Gadhafi. Now, he's got a reason for that. It's fear that makes him do that. Another thing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us, and Gadhafi just, you know, he reads the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stuff religiously, and I mean that in every sense of the word. But he reached way back in the writings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and threatened to destroy the Sixth Fleet because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the Sixth Fleet is going down. The whole Sixth Fleet going down under the water. It's going to be destroyed. Okay? So when Gadhafi said that, it shook Reagan up. Not because Gadhafi is just a threat to the Sixth Fleet, but the Chief of Naval Operations just gave a report to Caspar Weinberger that got leaked out, that all of the countries that are enemies of America have been testing America's naval strength. And they have found out that America doesn't have enough ships. If they all break out at once, America can't cover them at one ship apiece. Guarded secret, but it leaked out. So now what Reagan is trying to do, he hopes the news hasn't gotten around or hasn't settled into the people enough that they know what to do. He's trying to provoke one country, like he jumped on little Grenada. He wants to jump on little Libya and concentrate his forces there and get a naval victory going. Before all those countries find out and they all start little brush fires, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad called them. See, he said the best way to get a forest fire, see, if a man's sitting waiting for a forest fire, when you look around, if you got a bunch of little brush fires going, he don't know how to deal with that. See? So if all of them understand and they all kick off at the same time, his navy is helpless. And being an island country, an island nation, of course, they depend greatly on the naval power more than anything else. Even their air power, their naval air power, is what they count on. So this is going to happen. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that it will begin with conventional weapons. So everybody's scared of nuclear war. It's going to begin with little pot shots. But naturally, you know how that is. I mean, you and me gonna make a deal. We gonna fight, but we gonna fight fair. We'll fight fair till you get the best of me. Then they say all's fair in love and war. Understand? Oh yeah, when it gets too hot, I mean, when you talking about life and death, who cares about rules? So you break a rule to survive, who cares? Who gonna do something about it? If you dead, you can't be punished. So hey, you got nothing to lose. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it will continue to escalate until they get into all-out nuclear warfare. So that's one thing that we know is coming. Civil unrest, revolution, labor strikes. We know that's coming. Okay? Now, what happens if tonight the right-wingers and the peaceniks decide to meet on the Brooklyn Bridge and go to war? Now, we not right-wing white folks and we not peaceniks. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says you do what any intelligent person does. You keep your nose out of other folks' business. We ain't got no stake in either side. No matter what they fighting about. They're going to try to involve us in it. They're going to holler civil rights and all kind of rights, you know, to try to pull us in it. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that whatever comes, let's stay out of it. If you find that gunshots are going on outside your door, troops, either organized or disorganized, armed forces are running up and down your streets, lock your door and pull your shades. You ain't got no reason to go out. Now, don't be foolish like the people of Newark were back in '65. I mean, they jumped up. They so bad, the black folks. They so mean, they gonna start a rumble. So they started a rumble. The National Guard came in and surrounded the area. And then the National Guard members got rich. They were selling milk and bread to the people. That's right. Because they did all that, got locked in, and didn't have nothing to eat, nothing to feed their babies. So the National Guard hiked up the price. That's when milk was about 35 cents a quart. They were selling it for $1. They were getting over. Now that's crazy. Your enemy has to feed you. So that's one of the things. We are prey to the enemy if we are forced to come out. Okay? So there are just some basic things that we need to think about. What would happen if you could not go outside your door for 6 months? Let's think about that. You and your family as presently constituted. What happens if any of these things make it necessary? They say anybody coming out on the street, you're going to jail, and when you go to jail, it's just like South Africa. They're going to beat you to death. Any of these things could happen. Terrorism, the Jewish Defense League is roaming the streets, shooting at everything black. It's like they got the thing out there in Queens now, they tell me, putting out handbills. You know, see a black man in a bow tie, take him off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what the white folks are distributing among their own. See? I mean, it's right now it's just something to put the idea in their heads. But that idea is going to stay in their heads. They're not acting on it now. But that idea is going to stay in their heads, and there could come conditions that will trigger the action that is being planted in their heads right now. Okay? All right. So if it'll get worse. Just say anything black, fire. Black dogs and cats be in trouble. Understand? When it really gets tough. Okay. What? If you know that that's likely to happen, what should you do? Sit and wait for it to happen and then figure out what to do like we always do? Like we do everything else? Or should we plan and prepare as God has taught us to do?